Let me start with something simple. Australian sport is not broken because of kids. It's broken because of adults. And the people who should be telling that truth, the sports themselves, won't. Not because they don't know, but because they don't want to know. Because knowing means responsibility. And responsibility means conflict. And conflict means losing access. So instead, we get silence. And the silence is costing us the future. The media is obsessed with elite sport because the elite sport protects them. Every night, every morning, every weekend, the same thing. Elite codes, elite teams, elite drama, elite egos, elite scandal, and elite money. Meanwhile, the foundation of Australian sport, the 95%, the part that actually matters, is collapsing quietly in the background. Kids are quitting, families are exhausted, volunteers are disappearing, clubs are dying, toxic behaviour is normalised, girls walk away, neurodivergent kids are being pushed out, fees are going up, joy is going down, and the media do nothing. They look the other way because junior sport doesn't give them ratings. It doesn't give them exclusives. It doesn't give them access to the powerful. So they pretend the problem isn't there. The codes don't want the truth told, and the media obeys. Here's the uncomfortable part. The major codes do not want the public to know how bad junior sport has become. Because if the public knew, they demand reform. They demand accountability. They would demand transparency. And they would demand a system that puts kids first. And that would cost money. It would cost control. And it would expose the gap between the glossy marketing and the lived reality. So the codes keep the focus on elite sport and the media playing the song. Not because they're fooled, but because they're invested. The adults running junior sport are part of the problem too. This is where it gets uncomfortable for this audience. Because the crisis in junior sport isn't caused by the codes or the media. It's caused by us, the adults. Adults who yell at kids, chase wins instead of well-being, specialise children far too early, and price families out of the game. Create toxic sideline cultures, treat volunteers like staff, treat kids like assets, and treat sport like a pathway instead of a childhood. And the media won't talk about this either, because calling out adults means calling out the audience. And calling out the audience means losing them. So the silence continues. The most dangerous thing in Australian sport is the story we keep telling ourselves. We tell ourselves sport is fine, kids are fine, the system works, participation is strong, and everything is normal. But none of this is true. Kids are leaving, clubs are struggling, cultures are toxic, models are outdated, adults are exhausted, and the media is asleep at the wheel. Or worse, they're awake and just pretending not to see it. The truth is uncomfortable because it exposes all of us. It exposes the codes for protecting their brand. It exposes the media for protecting their access. It exposes the adults for protecting their egos. And exposes a country that loves sport but refuses to evolve with it. And that's why the silence is so loud. Because telling the truth would force us to change. And change is uncomfortable. But here's the real question. What's more uncomfortable? Telling the truth now or explaining to the next generation why we let sport's future fall apart? The shake-up starts with discomfort. If people walk out of the room feeling comfortable, nothing's changed. If we walk out defensive, irritated, challenged, exposed, then we finally hit the nerve that needed hitting. Because Australian sport doesn't need another polite conversation. It needs a reckoning. A reckoning with the media, a reckoning with the codes, a reckoning with adults, and a reckoning with ourselves. The truth is uncomfortable, but the future depends on us telling it anyway.